The Society for Peace Studies and Practice, SPSP, is a not-profit organization that promotes a non-violent approach to conflict resolution through multi-level research, advocacy and actions that strengthens local capacity that will bring about a sustainable culture of peace.
It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the 9th International Conference and General Assembly of the Society for Peace Studies and Practice, holding at the University of Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. This event is part of our core mandate of conflict prevention and peacebuilding, which the Society has upheld since its inception in 2004. Over the past 11 years, SPSP has been working to create an atmosphere of trust and confidence among its members, while at the same time laying the groundwork for conflict transformation among other peace-generating activities. Our membership base is well over 5,000, and it is the only society from Nigeria which is fully represented in the network of foundations and research institutions for the promotion of culture of peace in Africa under the auspices of UNESCO and African Union. We advocate non-violence and a return to a culture of peace globally. Today, most geopolitical conflicts are not due to threats of military attack alone, including terrorism and insurgency, but are rather the result of what we call the 4 M's, which is mistrust, misunderstanding, miscalculation, and miscommunication. Conflicts have arisen from widespread feelings of exclusion and alienation, or from religious and cultural identity threats.
In 2003, the Society began as the brainstorm of a group of passionate advocates of the postgraduate program of the Peace and Conflict Studies Institute of African Studies, University of Ibadan, seeking to prioritize conflict management as a professional practice and how to streamline the ethics that will guide scholars and practitioners in the field of peace building.
Our institute is both happy and proud to be part of the annual SPSP conference for the 4th time. Indeed, we attended the previous ones in Jaji, in Ekiti, in Ilorin, and over the years, the partnership between IFRA and SPSP has evolved. Actually, today, it is more of a friendship than just a partnership. I'm sure that in the coming years, our collaboration will keep growing and will be part of future conferences.
The 9th International Conference and General Assembly of the Society for Peace Studies and Practice, with the theme Rethinking Post-Election Peace Building in Africa, began on the 10th till 12th of August 2015 at the University of Ibadan. The program lineup for the days include technical sessions and the General Assembly, with different speakers speaking on different topics.
We need to plan well before elections and do well during the election and account well after the elections, so that the future will adequately be informed by the past and the present.
Day 1 of the program commenced at the Trenchard Hall, University of Ibadan, with the opening remarks by Professor Isaac O. Albert, who is the Chairman, Board of Trustees.
Our board and institutional members will not tolerate anything that will damage the integrity of the society.
The welcome address followed by the National President of the Society, Dr. Willie Eselebo. Without further ado, a director at the Institute of African Studies, Professor Dele Laiwola, who is the host, gave the address to usher in the main address by the chief host, who incidentally is the Vice Chancellor, University of Ibadan, Professor Isaac Folonsho Adewale.
No society can prosper without peace. So one is not surprised that the current leadership in the country is talking about security. It's an important one, but security can only lead to peace if we manage it well. And peace can only be a precursor of development. We had some situations where in the oil-rich areas where the construction company would not want to go to work simply because locals will drive them away. So we need peace to promote development in this country. And so to me, the last election where I function as a collation officer and a returning officer, to me, is an important one. No one thought that we would get it right. And so, about 2 months ago at the lounge in Metro, one of my colleagues from Zimbabwe saw me and shouted, said, "Thank you for making Africa proud." Because no one thought we could get it right, but we got it right.
There was also time for the special guest, who is Ghana's High Commissioner to Nigeria, Ambassador William Azuma Awindo, to give his own address.
I stand here before you not as High Commissioner of Ghana to Nigeria, but as an African. I see myself as such, and I'm inspired by one of the great sons of Nigeria, Nnamdi Azikiwe, and Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana, who had an Afrocentric approach, which is the way we should go. So talking about peace building in Africa, I speak to you as an African. In 1986, I had the privilege of listening to former OAU Secretary General Edem Kojo, and he was talking about Africa today. That was an Africa of the Cold War and the era. This was the Agnes Fraser Gettysburg Memorial Lectures at the University of Ghana. This is 19th edition. And his topic, Africa today, was in that Africa. Kojo provided a snapshot, or what you may choose to call a motion picture of the continent in its strategic potential and the marginalized nature of the continent by poverty and misery. He argued that from being an object in international relations, Africa could become one of the principal actors, and that development and integration were the two directions for Africa tomorrow.
Other speakers who spoke at the event on the theme Rethinking Post-Election Peacebuilding in Africa, under the chairmanship of Professor Umaru Pate, the Kaigama of Adamawa. There were topics such as the theoretical issues in post-election peacebuilding, post-election tensions in Africa, the role of the international community, and many more.
It is a fundamental issue. The money we put in elections is like an investment. And sometimes they say the way we put too much money explains the reason why we are having a lot of issues.
What we are trying to do is to use the lessons of the National Peace Committee and the 2015 general elections, to fuse into the national peace architecture so that we internalize what happened, in a way that is no longer about individuals, but it's about, the institutions of the state.
I think the role of the international community was very clear. Some were genuine interlocutors. But behind that was also interest. Interest to the extent that they want Nigeria to be peaceful, so that we reduce the number of people that come and invade our country.
At the evening of the day was a welcome cocktail and a red carpet session put together by CEO Africa.
Every year we bring together international scholars, local scholars, both practitioners and scholars in the university to deliberate on current themes regarding Nigeria in terms of conflict, peace, and the rest of them. So we're able to bring them in because it's our mandate, it's our constitutional mandate. We do it every year. Now this is our 9th International Conference and General Assembly, and the theme for this year is Rethinking Post-Election Peacebuilding. For next year, 2016, we'll be having issues connected to corruption and peacemaking in Africa.
conference this year has been a build on previous conferences, well attended. The benefits are immense all the time. We meet people, you exchange ideas, listen to presentations from the conferences, and I think that the presentations this year have dwelt on the essence of theory and the need of theory to link up to practice. And I think that is the meeting point that we are going to now try to see if we can demonstrate it and get our people not to just talk about peace but also practice the values of peace themselves.
SPSP is really the best place to be. It's a good association where you meet people who learn and teach peace. We practice peace, especially in this contemporary world where peace is scarce.
The conference have been able to look at this by presentation of different papers by different scholars on how to mitigate violence and crisis after election.
We have been deliberating on election peace building. In 2015, this year we had the general elections, and we are looking at different issues that came up, different challenges that we confronted during the elections, and how we are going to perform such challenges so that there can be a peaceful society at the post-election period.